These mud walls could be anywhere, were it not for these signs. But then, this is Afghanistan. A check sign tells you that the wall has been cleared. The crosses mark a landmine, and the omnipresent bullet holes are testimony to its turbulent past. This land, steeped in history, has had to pay an enormous price for its geography. Today, this melting pot of civilizations is on the cusp of change. For these ancient people, the journey is uphill. Nonetheless, a neighbor is with them every step of the journey.
नमस्ते। इस हिंदी का फिल्म मुझे बहुत शौक़ है। हिंदुस्तान से मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
Indian films have found their way back to the screens of Kabul's rundown theatres. Perhaps entertainment has never been more imperative, the suspension of disbelief so utterly necessary than in today's Afghanistan. This is Tawab. He's happy today. Like Javed, he too is going to see a movie.
Today I saw one movie, Devidas movie. I like it because it was very good.
Things that would be normal and routine in any other place, movies, music, sports or fashion, are achievements in Afghanistan. What was once common and customary was destroyed during decades of occupation, civil war, and the dark rule of the Taliban. Today, there is new hope. The war is over. The Afghans, all set to rebuild their nation, are clinging to their newfound peace. And India is helping them in every possible way to restore the broken threads of their lives. This famous composition of Amir Khusro has one line in Farsi and the next in Hindi. Be it the language, the musical instruments and styles, or the intermixing of cultures, these two countries have shared much and shaped each other's destiny for centuries. If Buddhism reached the Hindu Kush from India, Sufism had to traverse the Hindu Kush to reach India. Babur loved Kabul and ruled Delhi. If Mahatma Gandhi symbolized non-violence to the Afghans, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan stood for the indomitable spirit of the western frontier to Indians. The barbaric rule of the Taliban undermined these age-old ties for a while, but could never suppress the warmth of this friendship.
A couplet from Bedil. Subhe Kishwar Afghan Yasmin Bahar Astin. Bue Naz Mi Ayad Jalwa Gaye Yar Astin. The beautiful Afghan dawn is like blossoms of jasmine, full with the fragrance of love coming from the heart of a friend.
The year 2001, a watershed year in Afghanistan's history. The rule of the Taliban came to an end, but only after it turned a great nation into a haven for terrorists and drug traffickers, a peaceful society into an outrageously conservative social order, and a 5,000-year-old civilization into a mockery of itself.
When I heard what happened to Buddhas in Bamiyan, believe me, I was so confused and sad, and that was one of my darkest days of my life.
As the dust settled on the war, it fell to a moderate Pashtun leader, Hamid Karzai, to lead his people out of the gloomy shadows of war and destruction. President Karzai was educated in Shimla in northern India, where he experienced the freedom and liberalism of a democracy. And now, in this new endeavor, he found India standing by his side.
Relations between India and Afghanistan have deep roots going over centuries. There have been people-to-people movement between the two countries for ages. We see that India is going out of its way to help Afghanistan in its reconstruction and its walk towards the future.
India reopened its mission in Kabul soon after the city was secured from the Taliban during the War on Terror. Humanitarian aid and rebuilding of a war-afflicted nation was the agenda. After all, this synergy had the potential of reviving a brutally ravaged people.
Afghanistan needs everything. It needs the rebuilding of its infrastructure. It needs also the rebuilding of its human resource capital. And India is contributing in perhaps, I would say, in the most comprehensive manner to the rebuilding of all aspects of Afghanistan.
August 28, 2005. The plane carrying Indian Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh landed at Kabul airport amidst a palpable sense of hope and expectation. Dr. Singh was here on a mission to reinforce India's support to the Afghan people. India has committed $650 million to this endeavor, a substantial amount for a non-traditional donor. The Afghans have always looked upon India as a friend who has always taken the lead in extending its help and cooperation.
हिंदुस्तान पहले भी हमारे साथ हमदर्दी किया है, अभी भी करता है, इंशाल्लाह उसके बाद भी हमदर्दी करता है.
An entire generation of Afghans has grown up learning the skills of war. Traditional skills and craftsmanship were almost non-existent. For reconstruction to be effective, Afghanistan needed a skills revolution. These young men are happy today. They're dancing the Attan, their traditional dance of joy. But they're not regular dancers. They're trained professionals.
My name is Jamshid. I'm working in Aina Media Center Culture as a cameraman.
I'm Haq Sultani, working as a cameraman in NATO ISAF.
My name is Rafi Rafiq. I work for RM Asia Company, which is providing fought vehicles to Afghanistan. The dance that we showed today, actually it is the symbol of our freedom. When we kick out people from our country, we do this dancing. And especially when we get free from our rebellions and all those people.
Hope lies with the youth of Afghanistan. Ahmed Zubair, Nasiri, an IT expert and management student, has just returned home. These mud walls are all that remain of Nasiri's ancestral home in picturesque Pakman. But now he works to reshape the destiny of his war-shattered country. Nasiri works closely with entrepreneurs and experts from India on projects that directly benefit his people.
I'm running an IT management system in Afghanistan. By the help of Indian companies, we are doing a joint venture programs in Afghanistan in order to reconstruct and rebuild our country and to help our people and make something for the future of Afghanistan, actually.
The government of India has set forth on a mission to replace guns with jobs in Afghanistan. Training was imparted in India under schemes such as the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program and scholarships given by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Diplomats were trained at the Foreign Service Institute and vocational training given by the Confederation of Indian Industries. This capacity building is inspiring more Afghans to return home. Muhammad Zahir has recently reopened his hardware shop at the newly reconstructed industrial complex at Pule Charkhi.
पहले हमारा दुकान ख़राब था तो इंडिया नया इंडस्ट्री खोला या इंडिया ने आया या हमने अपना दुकान यहाँ बनाया तो काम करने के लिए हमने अपना दुकान बनाया अब हिंदुस्तान की मदद से उन लोगों ने अभी बहुत काम किया है यहाँ हम लोगों की मदद किया है यहाँ.
For many decades, the sprawling industrial complex at Pule Charkhi, a half-hour drive from Kabul, stood as a prime example of Indo-Afghan cooperation. Former Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi inaugurated it in the mid-70s. Trade flourished over the years till war destroyed it completely. Today, India's public sector undertaking, the Hindustan Machine Tools International, has rebuilt the tool room here. Its engineers are stationed in Afghanistan and are passing on their know-how to Afghan technicians, training them to be self-reliant. Under the trade initiative, India revived the substations in Pule Charkhi, set up a common facility and tool room, and constructed a 5,000-ton cold storage in Kandahar for its famous fruit produce. India has also signed preferential trade agreements to provide duty-free access to dried figs, asafoetida, lapis lazuli, ruby and emeralds from Afghanistan. Dried fruit and fresh fruit have been given a 50% duty concession. As trade picked up in Afghanistan, Indian entrepreneurs also played a proactive role in putting this war-shattered economy back on the rails.
I have been in Kabul for almost 4 years now. We formed a consortium of companies looking at donor-funded projects.
We are working in Afghanistan since 2002. Till date, we've done 700 kilometers of primary and secondary roads. This forms a major ring road in Afghanistan. We have 3,000 employees and 2,500 are Afghan nationals.
If the common Afghan needed employment, he also needed relief from his anxieties. Ironically, the breakdown of the country's communications infrastructure was beyond repair. Today, India has several initiatives in this field. The year 2005 saw a major thrust in re-establishing the broadcasting infrastructure for RTA, the radio and television of Afghanistan. India facilitated broadcasting in 10 provinces, set up RTA's TV stations in Kabul and similar facilities at Jalalabad in Nangarhar. India also allowed the use of its INSAT 3A satellite for downlinking. Work is on to cover the remaining 22 provinces and set up a 100-kilowatt short-wave transmitter for Kabul radio. This will enable Afghan radio programs to be heard internationally.
We didn't have even a TV set during Taliban, so they destroyed even TV sets. To revive TV in Afghanistan and our Indian friends helped us a lot.
This restoration of the mass media becomes most evident in the popularity of Indian teleserials dubbed in Farsi. One of them, the local version of the popular Indian soap opera Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, is called Tulsi after its heroine.
با مجرد که اینمی سریال از طرف شو در فامیلا مانده میشه اصلا همی تمام مسائل زندگی را کلگی کنار میگذارن و فقط سریال میبینن.
Nowadays, Tulsi, the Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi drama is very famous in Afghanistan. We feel like it's not Indian drama, it's an Afghan drama.
If these are new images for Afghans, the very image of Afghanistan is in the process of a total facelift. Its bazaars, its roads look different today. Where a woman could not go unescorted, and that too only if she was covered from head to toe, mannequins and fashions have made a comeback. The Afghan woman is making her presence felt once again. Like their sisters elsewhere, Afghan women are entering fields that were until now marked for men. Sabah Seher works for the Afghan police department. She had learnt the skills of a commando at Manesar in India.
به هندوستان ما کماندو به حساب کورس کماندو رفته بودم اونجا کماندو آموختم درسای اونجا را آموختم انداخت بود پرتاب بود و همه چیزایی که اونجا درس داده میشد واقعا ما در افغانستان اون سهولت‌ها را نداشتیم.
The Indian government is planning to train Afghan women at Bagh-e-Zanana, a one-of-its-kind women's facility in the Afghan capital.
They promised to construct a vocational training institute for women here in this garden, and they gifted 1,000 tailoring machine to women of Afghanistan.
This young doctor is another face of the modern Afghan woman. In the area of public health, India has taken path-breaking initiatives through its medical missions, training of doctors, and the reconstruction of IGICH, the Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health in Kabul. Formally inaugurated in 1972, the facility was renamed the Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health in 1985. At the IGICH, India has undertaken renovation of the hospital, the construction of a neonatal ward, and a surgical block at a total cost of $6 million. It has supplied medical equipment valued at $500,000 and trained Afghan doctors and paramedics at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi. And for the past 5 years, the Indian medical missions in Kabul, Mazar-e-Sharif, Herat, Jalalabad and Kandahar are greatly appreciated by the nearly 350,000 patients treated annually.
Indira Gandhi Institute of Child Health, which is called the symbol of friendship between India and Afghanistan, and that name is now remain here. Even in the era of Taliban, the name was not changed, and that is a very popular hospital in our country.
This is Adila. She had lost her husband to Taliban brutality. She now helps Indian doctors in the medical mission in Kabul.
شوهرم طالبان کشته بعد از او در سفارت هندوستان مرا کار دادن در شفاخانه ایندراگاندی. حال زندگیم شکر خوب است. زندگی اولادایم از خودم میتونم رسیدگی به اولادای خودم به خودم به اولادایم به مکتبشان به درس تعلیمشان.
Adila looks ahead now. She realizes the importance of nurturing a future generation of Afghans who will grow up in more normal circumstances. These children have beaten many odds to be here today. Habibia High School, one of the oldest and largest modern educational facilities of Afghanistan, was among many schools reduced to rubble. Yet the Taliban could not take away the dreams from their eyes.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a political member when I grow up.
Habibia School was restored at a cost of $5 million and 8,600 educational kits were gifted to its students. Schools all over Afghanistan were gifted 20,000 school desks. Scholarships were put in place for Afghan students to study in India, and Afghan teachers were trained in India as well. Learning from India's renowned midday meal program, high-protein biscuits from India are distributed to girl students in many schools on a daily basis. The scheme implemented through the World Food Program is estimated to cost around $100 million. If these educational facilities are shaping Afghanistan's future, India is training personnel from the Afghan National Army to secure its present as well. "9/11 demonstrated to the world that a destabilized Afghanistan was not just a worry for its immediate neighbors, but a global issue. A modern and disciplined security force was imperative for the country. India undertook many measures for creating such a force. It gifted 300 vehicles to the Afghan National Army, provided 25 tons of winter clothing, and promised 5,000 meters of summer uniform cloth, besides supplying communication equipment to the Afghan forces and providing training to its personnel.
کمک‌های کشور هندوستان در قسمت تعلیم تربیه افسران اردوی افغانستان از زمان بسیار قدیم دوام داره. تحصیل کرده بسیار برازنده داریم از افسرهای خود در کشور هندوستان.
Tanks and military vehicles had ruled the roads of Afghanistan for decades. But today the tanks are finding their own graveyard. And Afghanistan is trying to revive its public transport system. In 2001, only 50 buses plied in Kabul. Since then, India has gifted 400 buses, 200 mini-buses, and 105 utility vehicles to Afghanistan. Ariana, the Afghan airline, was gifted 3 Airbus aircraft, and Indian Airlines started services to the Afghan capital.
India was very friendly. Every Indian helped us, assisted us, though in Indian Airlines, ticket sellers, and the staffs who were working there, they were very nice.
While working on connectivity, India also helped Afghanistan rejuvenate its virtually non-existent telecom sector by setting up 35,000 CDMA WLL lines and telecom networks in 11 provinces in 2005. The infrastructure of a nation is often a yardstick of its overall development, and the forces of destruction target this brick and mortar first. Today, India stands firm behind Afghanistan and has pledged support to many schemes to strengthen its infrastructure. The $110 million execution of the Salma Dam power project is already underway. The $111 million construction of the 220 kilowatt transmission line between Pule-Khumri and Kabul will run through some of the most hostile high-altitude terrain. And the construction of a road from Zaranj to Delaram at a cost of $100 million will weave through this landlocked country a network of fast roads. As these projects catalyze development, the biggest project India has undertaken here is the rebuilding of democracy in Afghanistan. India has undertaken the construction of Afghanistan's new parliament building at an estimated cost of $66 million. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, with King Zahir Shah and President Karzai, laid the foundation stone for this symbol of democracy during his visit.
ساختمان پارلمان افغانستان در واقع ساختن دموکراسی در افغانستان است. زبان سمبولیک این حرکت برای ما افغان ها پیام بزرگ داره و ما جدا تقدیر میکنیم و این همکاری بزرگی است که هیچ وقت پارلمان افغانستان و ملت بزرگ افغانستان فراموش نخواهد کرد.
The largest democracy in the world has a natural interest in ensuring the success of the youngest democracy in this region.
From a long time, you know that Afghanistan had very good relations with the Indian government, especially in the time of our struggle. And this time, we have not seen, we have no sign of interfering in our country from Indian side. That is true that the Indian government also, they try to support our Senate and our National Assembly.
The world's biggest and youngest democracies hope to gain from each other and stand together on many issues.
Well, we stand together on lots of issues. We stand together for democracy. We stand together for the fight against terrorism. We stand together for a life based on a better value system for all of the mankind, of peace, of tolerance, of understanding, and of respecting each other's viewpoint and accepting diversity among people and respecting that.
India's poet laureate Rabindranath Tagore showcased the spirit of the Kabuliwala in a popular short story. It is this insight and understanding of the free-spirited and mercurial Afghan temperament that gives India advantage in taking the lead as these great people embark on their journey of rejuvenation.
The ties between India and Afghanistan have been shaped by geography to begin with. It has been forged through history, and it has been strengthened through centuries of cultural interaction. So it is not just ties between governments, these are ties at all levels of society, and there are no other two countries which have suffered as much under international terrorism as have Afghanistan and India. So there is a strong element of a strategic relationship between the two countries.
Times have changed. Today, these students of music in the Afghan capital are practicing on Indian instruments. Music, much like other simple pursuits, such as children going to school or women working, or even flying a kite, were banned by the Taliban until very recently. They are all making a comeback. So is freedom, hope, and smiles on these faces. They will fight adversity. All they need is someone to support them in friendship.